There are moments so subtle, so brief, that we often miss them entirely. Yet, within these almost imperceptible instances, an entire life's trajectory can pivot. Imagine right now. Your finger hesitates for a fraction of a second on your screen. Your breathing rhythm shifts, without any obvious cause, and a quiet, yet undeniable sensation gently weaves itself into the fabric of your ordinary day. This moment isn't accidental. It's a momentary disruption, a crack in the habitual patterns you follow. It signifies a point where your inner energy field temporarily nudges itself from its established course, allowing a fleeting glimpse of a new direction. All profound changes begin with such interruptions, tiny pauses that appear inconsequential, but are in fact subtle signals of an awakening within. The universe rarely speaks in dramatic pronouncements. Instead, it communicates through these delicate fractures in your routine, perceptible only when your inner self, your heart, has settled into a quiet receptiveness. The act of pausing isn't mere curiosity. It's a deep recognition, an intrinsic part of you responding to an inner call. This isn't a voice in your head, but rather a unique vibration emanating from your own energetic core, a truth your soul understands long before your conscious mind can articulate it. And in that precise second when you choose to linger, when you resist the urge to scroll away, that's when the transformative shift truly commences. Many individuals never perceive these crucial junctures. They remain swept along by the relentless current of endless screens, caught in repetitive loops of sound, images, and borrowed emotions. They exist in a state of reaction, mistaking it for active choice, drifting through life while believing they are truly living. However, your experience is different because you stopped. This pause is far from simple. It is the culmination of various synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that have been aligning over an extended period. When you consciously halt, your entire nervous system undergoes a frequency shift. Your breath deepens, your heartbeat steadies, and subtle electrical signals within your cells realign, fostering a profound sense of calm you might find difficult to explain. This isn't chance. It's your physical body actively responding to a new energetic signal. In that very instant, you effectively open an invisible doorway, a small window through which your consciousness connects with a higher dimension of reality, a realm of deeper awareness. This process, surprisingly, unfolds for everyone on some level. Yet, genuine transformation only begins when active awareness meets recognition, when you consciously realize that your stillness carries profound meaning. As you acknowledge this, the energetic signal amplifies. It's akin to lightly touching a piano key, and the entire universe responding with a perfectly harmonized note. Your personal frequency changes, and with that shift, the stream of events in your life begins to subtly reconfigure itself. Each time you pause at the right moment, you are wordlessly communicating to the quantum field, the fundamental energetic fabric of reality, that you are ready for what's next. This communication isn't through spoken language, but through your vibration, your energetic signature. And the universe, being fundamentally energetic, comprehends energy long before it interprets speech. It's crucial to grasp a fundamental truth. Significant changes rarely manifest with explosions or dazzling displays of light. They emerge as soft whispers, so gentle that the conscious mind often dismisses them. A deeper, more conscious breath, a prolonged moment of silence, a quiet, persistent sense that you should remain present, even if the reason isn't immediately clear. These subtle moments are potent portals of activation. They are ways the universe gently assesses if you are truly prepared for the next stage of your evolution. There is no external teacher, no complex ritual, no rigid formula required. Only you, in that precise moment where your consciousness makes its choice for the next direction. This is precisely why you are here now. It's not by random chance or a digital algorithm, but because a deeper part of you transmitted this signal long before your conscious mind fully perceived it. Modern science, particularly in psychology and neuroscience, often refers to this as unconscious decision-making. Long before your conscious mind formulates an action, your body and nervous system have already made a choice, responding to internal and environmental cues. Your soul inherently knows when it is time for a shift, and this very moment is that time for you. You are not here to absorb an external message from someone else, but to reconnect with your own inner sound, the authentic self that may have been buried beneath the constant noise and demands of the external world. The ego, that part of us responsible for our sense of identity and security, will likely resist this awakening. It might whisper that you're merely imagining things, that this is just another piece of digital content. But the ego fundamentally acts as the guardian of the familiar, inherently fearful of anything it cannot predict or control. It clings tightly to repetition and established patterns, because this sense of safety feels like ultimate control. The soul, however, operates differently. The soul actively seeks interruption and novelty, understanding that only through breaking old patterns can new possibilities truly enter. When you choose to stop, you consciously disrupt an ingrained pattern, and the energetic space that then emerges becomes an opening, a conduit through which unexpected miracles or serendipitous events can effortlessly slip into your experience. You don't need to intellectually comprehend every intricate detail of this process. You simply need to allow it to unfold. The universe subtly tests your permission through these small, quiet moments. A gentle hesitation, a quiet internal sense that something significant is indeed unfolding. This isn't an illusion. It is the precise meeting point of two distinct frequencies, your current energetic state and the emerging new reality. You are standing on the energetic threshold, positioned squarely between what was and what is actively emerging. And if you simply remain present, the new energetic field will naturally begin to merge and integrate with your being. Understanding is primarily the work of the rational mind, but feeling, deep, intuitive feeling, is the true language of the soul. The only real requirement is to stay with that feeling, to not flee from it, not to overanalyze it, but simply to remain aware of it. Every individual experiences their own unique activation process, but very few remain still and present long enough to fully feel and integrate it. The contemporary world no longer moves. Every facet of modern life is meticulously engineered for greater speed, enhanced intelligence, and superior efficiency, to the extent that people now mistakenly conflate speed with genuine evolution. We inhabit a civilization obsessed with acceleration, where time has become our fiercest adversary, and slowness is scorned as an abject failure. Every single minute is expected to yield tangible value. Every action must produce a measurable result, and every pause is permeated with a creeping sense of guilt. Whatever its manifestation, that is the signal. And once you recognize it, the process of your personal transformation has already irrevocably begun. You are not acquiring new information in the traditional sense. Rather, you are remembering what your deeper self, your soul, already inherently knew. Every soul has traversed this energetic threshold countless times throughout its many lifetimes and experiences. The crucial difference now is awareness, conscious awareness. This time, you know you are being called, and when you are consciously aware, you actively participate in your own evolution, becoming a deliberate co-creator rather than a passive observer. This marks the foundational first step toward true energetic sovereignty. From this moment forward, everything in your immediate environment begins to shift, not through random fantasy, but through an ordered series of harmonious coincidences. It manifests through new people you encounter, insights that flash into your mind, and unexpected opportunities that appear at precisely the right second. These are tangible, physical proofs that your personal frequency is indeed moving, evolving. And it all began with that simple, intentional pause. But if we were to pause long enough to truly observe, we would perceive that beneath the dazzling, brightly lit surface lies a civilization utterly exhausted. Everyone is perpetually busy, yet few truly understand why. Everyone is digitally connected, yet very few are genuinely present with one another. This relentless speed fragments the human mind, and this fragmentation causes people to forget that they are ensnared within an elaborate illusion of continuous, frantic motion. The faster we go, the emptier we become. The busier we are, the less we genuinely feel alive. This is the very beginning of your personal activation sequence, the unmistakable signal that you are now ready to step into a higher, more aligned reality. And if you continue to stay present, if you continue to listen intently, and if you simply trust this unfolding process, new pathways and opportunities will begin to open for you in profound silence. There exists a particular kind of energetic signal that captures your entire body's attention, even though it carries no audible sound. It's like a heartbeat momentarily slipping out of its usual rhythm, or a subtle, yet distinct shift that suddenly permeates the ordinary fabric of your day. This powerful signal is what we can call urgency. Not haste, not the modern anxiety of missing out, but a deep, rhythmic calling from your intrinsic energy. It's when your soul instinctively knows that something significant is about to manifest or unfold. It arrives softly, gently, much like a quiet breath. Yet, it possesses an irresistible pull, a gravitational force that draws you away from the familiar and into an acute awareness that something profoundly important is now present. And thus, the destructive cycle perpetuates itself. The truly alarming aspect is that our acceleration has not been confined merely to our actions. It has permeated even our spirituality. Even the path of awakening has, for many, devolved into a competitive race. Individuals strive to manifest faster, to heal quicker, to attain higher frequencies with a sense of urgency. Stillness, once considered the very essence of the soul, has been ironically transmuted into merely another goal to be achieved. But the true essence of awakening is not discovered in speed, but in a profound act of surrender. This sense of urgency is essentially the heightened awareness of your soul, the moment when the energy you perceive around you palpably expands, signifying that a new energetic threshold or portal is actively opening. Many individuals experience this feeling without truly understanding its nature. They might mislabel it as anxiety, a vague tension, or a simple premonition, and then try to suppress it with logical reasoning or distraction. But in truth, this internal tremor is your physical body, down to its cellular level, actively preparing to receive and integrate a new level of reality. As your personal frequency begins its upward trajectory, every single cell within you starts to vibrate differently. Your heartbeat, your breathing patterns, even your emotional landscape, all undergo a subtle but profound shift. The physical body, being a highly sensitive, energetic instrument, understands and registers these changes long before the conscious mind can process them. This is precisely why urgency is initially felt in your physical being, rather than as a purely mental thought or concept. If you cultivate enough attentiveness, you will begin to notice that each time your soul is poised to alter its course, the entire energetic atmosphere around you subtly transforms as well. The very air might feel denser, light might bend or reflect differently, and even the smallest, most mundane movements around you begin to carry a deeper, symbolic meaning. What once appeared random starts aligning itself into a hidden, meaningful order. Everything you observe in the external world is merely reflecting the powerful internal signal you are emitting. This feeling of urgency doesn't originate from the material world itself. It represents an energetic meeting point of timelines, a convergence where your present self begins to resonate powerfully with a future version of yourself that is already ready and existing in a higher vibratory state. Each time you experience this unique feeling, a doorway opens, and time itself seems to fold around that specific moment, creating a potent energetic vortex. No fragile seed ever germinates in the chaos of a storm. It only blossoms in the still, dark, nurturing soil. No soul ever awakens amidst the din. It only stirs in the sacred moment when everything else fades away. The universe does not transmit its messages in carefully constructed sentences or paragraphs. It conveys them through pure energy. And this feeling of urgency is one of its earliest and most significant messages. It signals that the energetic current is actively shifting, that if you remain present and pay close attention, you will intuitively catch this new wave before it moves on. This urgency isn't demanding immediate external action. It is simply asking you to notice. Awareness itself is the key response. The very moment you become truly aware of this internal signal, you have already, on an energetic level, said yes to the universe. You have already communicated, "I am ready." You do not need to intellectually grasp every detail, only to listen with an open heart. Because once you genuinely listen, the subsequent steps of your journey will unfold effortlessly and naturally. Everything you need is already here, patiently waiting, ready for you to be present enough to truly see it. The external world may continue its frantic acceleration, but you are not obligated to run alongside it. You possess the inherent power to choose your own rhythm. The rhythms of the soul are not constrained by chronological time, but are gracefully guided by deep awareness. Then, every step you take, even the slowest one, carries the precise truth of consciousness, for it is born from that profound awareness. When you release the need to constantly control and manipulate outcomes, you spontaneously become the perfect receiver for the profound wisdom and guidance that is constantly being transmitted. The urgency you are experiencing now is the direct result of perfect synchronization, a moment where your personal energy has reached a state of readiness, and the universe is responding in perfect harmony. It's like two musical instruments humming in perfect accord when they are tuned to precisely the same note. There exists a quiet paradox in our current era. We have never been more technologically connected, yet we have never felt more profoundly alone. Millions of signals traverse the airwaves. Billions of devices operate simultaneously. Yet amidst all these intricate intersections, humanity feels increasingly lost within the very world it has meticulously constructed. We can transmit a message to anyone on the planet in an instant. Yet we often cannot speak with genuine honesty to the person sitting directly across from us. Conversations have become predictable and programmed. Once you attain this elevated vibration, your external reality begins to subtly, yet powerfully, rearrange itself in your favor. Opportunities, resonant people, and innovative ideas spontaneously start moving toward you in ways your rational mind cannot logically explain. You don't need to chase or pursue them. You only need to consistently remain in sync with this higher frequency. And the primary way to maintain this crucial alignment is to stop resisting or running from the feeling of urgency itself. Many individuals fear this sensation because they mistakenly perceive it as a warning or a sign of impending danger. However, it is, in fact, the potent energy of creation itself. When something genuinely new is about to be born or manifested, the entire energetic system trembles in anticipation. The ground vibrates subtly before the arrival of spring. The sky darkens dramatically just before the dawn breaks. This urgency is the energetic trembling that occurs between waves, the precise minute before a new light breaks forth. You cannot avoid it, and you don't need to. Simply understand that you are being energetically tuned to match a higher, more refined frequency. The most critical aspect within that powerful energy is not to resist it. Any effort to control, to logically explain away, or to suppress this sensation will only distort its pure signal. Instead, allow your body to become an open, receptive field. Breathe slowly and deeply. Observe without judgment, and simply feel every subtle shift occurring within you. Do not rush to assign immediate meaning to these sensations, for deeper meaning often reveals itself only when true stillness deepens within. Urgency is the universe's profound invitation to cease external searching and to simply be in the present moment. You don't have to actively chase for external signs or validations. You only have to recognize that the sign you are looking for is already here, present within this very moment. In this instant, you might feel your heartbeat quicken slightly, a gentle current moving through your chest, or a subtle density in the surrounding air. Do not fear these sensations. They are pure information, traveling directly from the vast quantum field into your highly sensitive nervous system. You are being updated, energetically upgraded. When they are physically with others, they are frequently preoccupied with capturing the moment for digital sharing, rather than simply experiencing and feeling it. Humanity is being relentlessly pulled away from the sacred present moment. And that, fundamentally, is the true reason why the soul feels so profoundly lost. The soul exists exclusively in the now, while the mind perpetually rushes ahead or lingers nostalgically behind. When these two fundamental aspects of being do not converge, humans lose their vital connection with themselves. It is the unmistakable sign that you have reached a significant bend in the river of your life, where the current is shifting and actively carving out a new path for you. If you resist this natural flow, you will find yourself spinning in repetitive circles. But if you surrender to it, the current will carry you precisely where you need to go, with grace and ease. Every surge of urgency carries with it an implicit question that only you can truly answer. Are you ready to step fully into the reality that has been patiently waiting for you? You don't have to vocalize a yes out loud. That is why so many modern relationships become fragile. They are built on a foundation of desperate need rather than harmonious resonance. The more technologically advanced the world becomes, the more intensely people fear silence. Yet, it is precisely in silence that the genuine signal of true connection is heard most clearly. When you look at someone with complete presence, devoid of judgment or expectation, you create an energetic field so potent that their soul feels genuinely safe. In that sacred moment, no words are necessary. The two frequencies simply recognize each other. Every second you choose to remain consciously present is a deep commitment to your own ongoing evolution. Every breath you dedicate to this profound moment is a sacred promise to your soul. When you consciously choose to stay within this expansive energy, your external reality begins to meticulously rearrange itself to perfectly match your internal choice. Delays that once plagued you dissolve. Doors that previously seemed firmly closed now open effortlessly. People you thought were gone from your life return, and paths you once considered impossible become strikingly clear. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds to your readiness far faster and more profoundly than any external action you could ever take. Every significant shift in reality begins with an energetic change, and your energy has just powerfully spoken. Urgency is the cosmic announcement that the time is truly ripe, that there is absolutely nothing left for you to prepare or become. You are already enough, exactly as you are. You do not need any more external proof or validation. Once your soul has transmitted this clear signal, everything external becomes merely a reflection of your internal state. From this moment onward, allow urgency to become your reliable inner compass. Do not fear its presence. Each time your heart quickens without any obvious external reason, remember that it signifies you are perfectly aligned with an unfolding higher purpose. Trust your energy implicitly, for it is the most accurate and personalized map you will ever possess. Urgency never arises when you are truly lost. It appears precisely when you are about to arrive at a significant destination or breakthrough. So, breathe deeply, remain still, and allow it to gently guide you forward. This is the first powerful pulse of a profound restructuring, the very beginning of a new timeline actively forming around you. And if you are present enough to truly perceive it, you will realize it is not pressure or a burden. It is the joyous greeting of your future self, welcoming you home. Every time a part of you feels the pull to disengage, to turn off this message, to retreat to what feels comfortably familiar, understand that this isn't boredom. It is a primal act of self-defense, orchestrated by your old self. your egoic programming. That former self was intricately designed to protect stability, to maintain familiar, safe loops, even when those loops actively hindered your growth and expansion. This old self isn't inherently bad. It is simply operating from a place of fear, knowing that once you truly cross this energetic threshold, it will no longer be in ultimate control. There is an invisible, yet profoundly significant boundary that humanity crossed many generations ago. The line between genuine progress and the tragic loss of intrinsic meaning. We have meticulously constructed a world where everything operates faster, smoother, and with astonishing precision. Yet, somehow, this relentless efficiency leaves us feeling profoundly emptier. In this frenetic race we term development, we have forgotten to ask one fundamental question. Progress toward what? The universe isn't stopping you. Rather, you are testing yourself, subtly asking whether you possess the inner fortitude and steadiness to continue. Resistance manifests in numerous forms, sometimes as unexpected fatigue, sometimes as logical arguments cleverly disguised as reason, and sometimes as a quiet, dismissive voice suggesting that all of this is simply too abstract or unrealistic. But each time you choose to pause, to observe these internal voices instead of blindly believing them, you effectively break another link in the chain of old, limiting programming. True transformation never unfolds amidst external noise or chaos. It quietly emerges in silence, in those small, conscious moments, when you deliberately choose presence over avoidance. On a profound energetic level, this is the exact moment when the old frequency field within you begins to dissolve, actively making space for the new, higher vibration field to fully form and integrate. When things come too easily, we lose the profound joy of the journey, of the patient search. And without that transformative journey, the soul has nowhere to genuinely grow. The material world has arguably reached its zenith of abundance, yet our inner world has run dangerously dry. We are assiduously taught how to accumulate wealth, but rarely how to find inner peace. We are trained how to win, but not how to be still. We are instructed how to speak, but not how to truly listen. But, in fact, the opposite is true. When new energy meets old, a temporary energetic friction is a perfectly natural and expected phenomenon. It's analogous to two rivers converging. They create a powerful turbulence before their waters fully merge and stabilize into a unified flow. The confusion, the inner conflict, the subtle unease, these are all clear indications that two distinct energetic frequencies are actively blending and integrating. If you can simply remain calm and centered through this process, the energetic flow will soon stabilize. In the quantum path, true stability doesn't arise from avoiding change or seeking a static state. It comes from the ability to stand still and centered within the very heart of change itself. This is precisely why souls who have journeyed far along this path often exude a remarkable serene peace. They don't attempt to avoid the waves of life. They have profoundly learned to breathe deeply and navigate gracefully inside them. You are being invited to cultivate this same wisdom. And so, the very meaning of everything fades into the deafening noise of excess. A shared meal is no longer a moment of intimate connection, but merely content for social media display. A profound journey is no longer an inner exploration but simply proof of an experience to be showcased. Even acts of kindness are now often quantified in likes and reactions. People no longer engage in good deeds purely because they genuinely wish to, but often because they fear appearing indifferent or uncaring. Every action seems to serve something external to itself, leaving us in a state where nothing is done simply because it feels intrinsically right. This is where meaning begins, its slow, quiet decay. The painful irony is that the more we progress, the emptier we often feel. The more we know, the less we genuinely feel. The more choices we are presented with, the harder it becomes to find true happiness, because meaning does not arise from sheer quantity or lavish comfort, but from the harmonious alignment between our actions and our deepest soul. It exists fundamentally within your perception, your awareness. You don't need to physically move your body to cross it. You shift your internal vision, your perspective. The moment you consciously choose profound awareness, the bridge instantly appears, and if you trust its energetic support, it will effortlessly carry you across. Everything in the universe operates through the principle of resonance. Whatever energetic frequency you consistently maintain is the reality you will ultimately receive and experience. When you remain in a state of conscious awareness, you emit a precise signal that resonates harmoniously with your expanded, higher future. That potent signal then begins to magnetically attract matching individuals, opportunities, and possibilities into your life. This is the intrinsic mechanism of the quantum bridge, not through sudden, forceful actions, but through the unwavering stability of your personal frequency. When you can maintain inner calm even amidst resistance or external challenges, your energy transmits the undeniable message that you are mature and stable enough to receive and integrate the new, more powerful flow of life. The new frequency can only merge seamlessly with an individual who is no longer afraid of letting go of the old, familiar patterns. So, consciously allow the old to gently fall away. Do not cling to outdated safety nets, rigid definitions, or limiting beliefs that once served to help you survive. They are not wrong. They are simply complete. Think of them as steps on a ladder. Once you have climbed higher, you no longer require the step below. Be genuinely grateful for its past service, then continue your ascent upward. You will distinctly notice that the more you consciously release these old attachments, the lighter and more expansive your energy becomes. True evolution occurs when humans can reach for the stars yet still keep their feet firmly planted on the earth, when they can create revolutionary technology and still tenderly touch the grass with their bare hands. Then, meaning no longer needs to be frantically sought. It naturally flows from a state of profound balance. Perhaps it is time for a different kind of revolution altogether. Not a revolution of machines or algorithms, but a quiet revolution of consciousness, emerging from within. A time when humans no longer desperately ask how to be faster, but how to be real. No longer inquire how to be remembered by posterity, but how to genuinely feel in the present moment. Because profound meaning is not found in what we outwardly achieve, but in how fully present we are while achieving it. When action emanates directly from the soul, even the smallest gesture carries immense intrinsic value. But this profound shift occurs only once you successfully cross that energetic bridge. When you permit yourself to remain within the resistance long enough for it to naturally dissolve. Resistance is consistently the final doorway, an ultimate test. It subtly asks if you truly believe in the higher path you are moving toward. If you genuinely do, you won't demand external proof. Only your intrinsic faith will be needed to keep moving forward. Trust, in the quantum sense, is not mere hope or wishful thinking. It is an unshakable certainty, a deep inner knowing. When you embody this certainty, you require no external reasons or justifications. You simply exist in a state of presence, and the energy of the universe then meticulously aligns itself with you. Everything that once caused you unease or discomfort begins to fall away, not necessarily because it disappears from existence, but because it simply no longer resonates with your elevated frequency. Your energetic signature has changed, and reality, as an immutable law, always mirrors your frequency perfectly. This is a law that never, ever fails. Many individuals ponder why they remain stuck in stagnation, why the same recurring problems persist in their lives. The answer is often simple. They never fully cross the energetic bridge. They stop midway, precisely where the resistance is most potent, where the old and new energetic paradigms powerfully collide. They mistakenly believed that discomfort signified a wrong direction, so they retreated. But if they had only stayed a little longer, everything would have profoundly shifted. When we move too swiftly, we inadvertently drift from our natural, preordained orbit, and it is in the slowing down that we finally become receptive enough to hear the quiet, profound voice within. People often pray earnestly for light, but true Pure light never manifests amidst noise. It gracefully slips in through the very silence we once feared. Every time the universe slows your relentless pace, it serves as a potent reminder that you have ventured far enough externally, and it is now time to return inward. This might manifest as your work stalling unexpectedly, relationships reaching an inevitable end, or something deeply familiar quietly departing your life. But the underlying message is consistently the same. It is time to stop, to breathe deeply, and to remember your true essence. Because in the transformative journey of evolution, silence is not merely beneficial, it is absolutely essential. Because the profound truth is, each time you successfully cross through resistance, you are not merely stepping into a new reality, you are actively expanding the very essence of your soul, deepening your core being. It demands harmonious alignment. Not every effort holds true value. Only those actions born from the right, resonant frequency create genuinely meaningful outcomes. So, every pause is not an irritating obstacle, but a vital phase of refinement, designed to ensure that the next step we take is no longer misaligned with our true path. Just as a delicate musical instrument must be meticulously tuned before it can produce harmonious melodies, the human spirit must be carefully adjusted and rebalanced before it can create true inner harmony. You do not see in order to believe. You believe in order to see. True alignment is not born from strenuous effort or relentless striving, but from a harmonious resonance between your mind, emotions, and energetic state. When these three aspects achieve coherence, the current of opportunity begins to flow, light and effortless, like clear water. You don't need to chase it. You only need to become quiet enough within yourself to intuitively hear and perceive it. Every event, every person, every insightful idea you encounter is a direct reflection from the quantum field, precisely mirroring the energetic frequency you carry. If confusion resides deeply within you, the universe will reflect back crossroads and uncertainty. If profound clarity lives within you, every potential door seems to open simultaneously and effortlessly. The external world does not dictate your inner rhythm. Rather, you program the world to mirror yours. The very moment we cease resisting, the hidden, intricate order behind the apparent chaos gracefully reveals itself. Nothing in the universe happens by mere accident. Everything is meticulously designed to refine our energy into an ever greater state of purity. Every delay, every perceived dead end, every deliberate slowdown is a profound invitation to relearn the sacred art of trust. To trust that you do not need to possess all the answers to move forward authentically. To trust that you do not need to meticulously control every single aspect to be divinely guided. To trust, above all, that the universe never forgets you. It is merely patiently waiting for your frequency to perfectly match the next signal destined for your path. Looking back upon these periods, you will invariably realize that every single pause carried an invaluable gift, a gift that could only be fully perceived after your initial resistance faded. The invaluable gift of clarity, of self-sovereignty, and of a newly awakened awareness. But these profound gifts only arrive when you truly surrender. When you stop actively searching, what you genuinely need effortlessly finds its way to you. The universe does not respond to those who beg or plead from a place of perceived lack. It responds powerfully to those who resonate, those whose internal frequency matches their desired reality. Resonance cannot be faked or manufactured. It only occurs when you are fully present, authentic, and whole. In that transformative stillness, what was once chaotic and fragmented gradually starts to align. What once felt unbearably heavy begins to gently dissolve. True, lasting alignment does not occur in the midst of a storm, but in the profound, serene quiet that invariably follows. When you finally sense this truth, the lingering fear of slowing down completely disappears. You begin to understand that the universe never slows you down. It only makes you incredibly precise. Every delay carries the ancient wisdom of perfect timing, Every pause holds an invisible, potent protection. Alignment is not primarily a result of intellectual knowledge or accumulated information, but rather a profound state of being. You could read thousands of books, yet if your mind remains noisy and cluttered, your energetic signal will stay distorted and weak. Conversely, a single conscious breath, taken with full presence, can instantly return you to the optimal frequency of alignment. When your mind quiets, the quantum field hears you 1,000 times more clearly and directly. Opportunities are never truly out of reach. It is only your own noisy mind that prevents you from perceiving them. When the outer world begins to slow down around you, when time itself feels expanded or stretched, that is a clear sign that you have entered a state of deep synchronization. In that sacred space, you don't need to push or strive. You simply pay acute attention. Alignment demands not brute strength, but exquisite subtlety. It is an observation without attachment, the profound ability to see that everything that arrives and leaves your experience does so with a specific purpose and meaning. When you cease labeling things as inherently good or bad, and begin to interpret them as valuable energetic feedback, you transform into the conscious navigator of your life's flow. And that flow consistently leads you back to your true energetic home. Pay close attention to your physical body, because it possesses an innate wisdom and always knows before your conscious mind does. When your energy feels heavy, when your chest tightens, or your breath becomes shallow, that is a clear signal that you are drifting away from optimal alignment. Do not fight these sensations. Simply return to a state of conscious presence. A single deep, intentional breath, a brief moment of stillness, is often all it takes to reset and restore your entire energetic system. In presence, all distracting noise disappears, and the quantum field begins transmitting clear, unmistakable guidance to you once again. Clarity is never found in frantic thought or endless analysis. It is discovered in the profound stillness of silence, and in that silence, you begin to perceive that everything is happening for you, not to you. Every situation, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, carries valuable data for your alignment process. When you learn to interpret this energetic language, you cease struggling against the universe and begin a powerful collaboration with it. You begin to clearly perceive that genuine evolution is not about moving at a greater speed, but about aligning yourself more deeply with your core truth. It is not about achieving more quantifiable results, but about living more authentically and truly. This is the sacred stage of returning to your essence, where all superficial complexity is gently peeled away, leaving behind only the pure, unadulterated presence of simply being. At this transformative point, you no longer desperately try to fix the external world, nor do you strenuously strive to change yourself. Everything fits together naturally and harmoniously. Opportunities appear gently and spontaneously. Your words reach precisely the right ears at the perfect time. Your actions unfold with flawless precision. The universe has always operated in impeccable, flawless order. It is only human perception, clouded by resistance, that makes it seem chaotic. Each time you feel a powerful urge to force, to push, or to strain for a particular outcome, recognize that you are momentarily out of alignment. Living for an extended period in the frantic, fast rhythm of society traps us in the pervasive illusion that true value resides solely in external results. Yet, when the soul awakens, it discerns that true value lies in the subtle frequency, the underlying intention, behind every single action. A simple cup of water poured with complete awareness is fundamentally not the same as one poured unconsciously. A gentle touch emanating from still, centered energy can heal more profoundly than 1,000 carefully chosen words. When you live from that profound truth, you open the energetic gates for the universe to work through you with incredible speed, precision, and grace. And the universe, being an energetic system, does not operate through human reason or logic. It operates purely through permission. When you grant permission, when you allow, energy flows freely through you, and everything you genuinely need arrives in perfect, harmonious sequence. This is why aligned souls always appear so natural and at ease. They are not striving to perform or impress. They are simply being their authentic selves. And that state of being is entirely sufficient for life to flow through them effortlessly. Every small, seemingly mundane act becomes sacred because you are fully present and conscious within it. This is the exquisite meeting point between matter and spirit. The arbitrary line between the physical and the spiritual beautifully disappears because everything becomes inherently spiritual when imbued with conscious awareness. Eating with profound gratitude transforms into a powerful meditation. Working in quiet stillness becomes a form of heartfelt prayer. Walking in mindful presence becomes a sacred return to self. When you live in this profound way, your unique frequency becomes an invisible, yet powerful invitation to the world around you. You do not need to desperately convince anyone of your truth, but your profound inner peace will gently call others home to themselves. That is how true light spreads, not through aggressive noise or forceful persuasion, but through deep, resonant harmony. And alignment, fundamentally, is never about external action. It is about your internal state of being. When you operate consistently at the right frequency, nothing external can truly disturb your inner peace. Every challenge, every external perturbation, simply becomes a small ripple upon the surface, utterly unable to disturb the profound depth and stillness beneath. That is not indifference. It is profound wisdom. Wisdom that comprehends that everything is energy, in a constant state of transformation, and that resistance is never truly necessary for safety or protection. In that complete acceptance, a new, transcendent kind of freedom is born, a freedom not derived from external power or societal success, but from the liberating act of releasing the desperate need to be someone else. You no longer feel the compulsion to prove your inner light by constantly speaking of it. True light requires no external recognition. It only humbly asks to be present. When you live consistently in that profound frequency, everything around you begins to spontaneously realign. There comes a profound moment in every spiritual journey, when everything within grows quiet. When you no longer feel any compelling need to prove yourself, to chase external goals, or to incessantly seek for more. It is the moment of sealing, when your personal energy has fully and harmoniously matched the frequency you once only dared to dream of embodying. It is no longer a journey of perpetual finding. It is the deeply settled state of having found. The universe operates according to a subtle, immutable law. It does not respond to vague desires or fleeting wishes. This is the fundamental quantum law of resonance. When you live authentically, you flow effortlessly. When you live falsely, you resist the natural current. Returning to your true essence is not a long, arduous journey. It is the instantaneous moment. You simply stop trying to become someone else. You suddenly realize that true peace does not manifest after success. It is, in fact, the fundamental condition through which true success is born. You begin to feel again the simple, profound rhythm of life that you once ignored. The gentle wind whispering through the window, the comforting warmth of a cup of tea in your hands, the meaningful gaze shared with another without any underlying intention. Everything becomes sacred, not because it is inherently extraordinary, but because you are finally present enough to perceive it as miraculously so. Knowing that you do not need to desperately cling to anything, because what truly belongs to your soul cannot ever leave you. Knowing that clarity is inherently stronger than any fear. From this pivotal moment, every single vibration within your being becomes a direct, powerful instruction to the quantum field. And every single instruction is immediately answered by a perfectly matching reality. You no longer need to exert effort to prove anything, because reality itself now provides the proof for you. When action arises from that profound union, nothing can ever truly be wrong. For every choice, every gesture, carries the unmistakable mark of pure consciousness. This is the exquisite state of true living, where doing and being are no longer separate entities. Everything becomes a natural, effortless expression of the original, divine energy residing within you. There is no forcing, no controlling, only an effortless flow. And from that sacred flow, natural order is beautifully restored. You begin to perceive, with absolute clarity, that the world does not need saving. But once your energy becomes consistent, unwavering, and clear, the universe has no choice but to respond instantly and precisely. Every possibility already exists within the quantum field, but only one truly activates, the one you are most consistently aligned with. This is the profound power of energetic declaration. When you speak, think, or feel from a place of full presence and certainty, every cell in your body transmits the exact same, unified message. That potent signal moves directly into the quantum field, a realm where linear time does not exist. Therefore, the desired result does not manifest later. It manifests parallel to your declaration. You are not passively waiting for reality to change. You are actively stepping into the version of reality where it has already changed. Every ritual, every technique, every spiritual practice you have ever encountered is merely a path leading to this single, powerful moment. But this moment itself is the true initiation. This is the profound shift from student to master, from passive observer to conscious creator. When you declare that your timeline is sealed, you are, in essence, commanding reality, that from this point forward, everything in your experience can only move according to this new, higher frequency. There is no possibility of returning to the old ways, for the universe cannot coherently mirror two opposing vibrations simultaneously. Once sealed, every sign, every person, and every opportunity will align exclusively with this new, elevated energetic field. You will inevitably notice that what once strongly attracted you now feels utterly empty or irrelevant. Relationships that once seemed vital may gently fade away. Desires that once burned intensely may lose their compelling pull. Do not fear these shifts.